All right, here we go. November 2nd, and no, it is not the Frozen Frenzy, but we do have a full slate of games here tonight with 12 on the schedule in the NHL. So we'll break all of those down. We'll get into Moretto's thoughts from last night's games. But before we do that, I want to remind everybody that today's show is sponsored by BetStamp. The easiest way to improve as a sports bettor is to use multiple sports books and always get the best odds. We recommend using an odds comparison tool like BetStamp to help you do so. BetStamp compares odds across every sports book, whether that's for games, futures, or player props. You can save time and money by checking BetStamp before you bet, so make sure to download the app today. If you are looking to sign up for a new sports book, please check out the offers available at betstamp.app/edgework. That's betstamp.app/edgework, or you can click the link in the description. Signing up through this link does help support the show. All right, let's get into it here. And as Somani is saying, let's just start off the morning right. If you haven't already, smash the like button. Take 2 seconds out of your day. Smash the like button here on the stream. It does help support us. If you're watching it back after, clicking that like button does help as well. Subscribe here to the channel. Turn on notifications. All that good stuff does help continue to grow it and help us do more things here on this Edgework channel. But Moretto, let's just get right into it. You tweeted out some takes or thoughts on some goaltending that we saw yesterday. Talk us through how you're feeling this morning and how you're feeling last night watching the games.
Yeah, we end up settling for 1-2 on our best bets last night, which I felt like easily could have been 3-0 if we could buy a couple saves. The Flyers dominate the Sabres. Carter Hart goes down. Samuel Ersson just decides to not save a puck. Allows 3 goals on 4 shots in the third period. That was fun. And then like the Arizona game, the under ended up having a chance in the end, but like it looked dead in the first period when there's 4 goals on like 12 shots. Just very low expected goal totals for the Sabres who win the game, and then very low expected goal totals in that Coyotes and Ducks game. Vejmelka ends up minus 1.7 goals saved above expected. Here I am celebrating that he's starting over Ingram, and he ends up really kicking us in the balls. So tough one. I felt like it could have gone 3-0 there, but at least our stars, we can always count on our stars to bring it home for us. So yeah, it is what it is. But we got the Ottinger start, and we got that one. Calgary just remains an absolute mess.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Yeah. And Tyler's saying 2 goals on 3 shots, last one an empty netter. But yeah, also their insight, keeping track. Edgework 2023-2024 record 39-42 plus 0.71 units or $71.24. I believe that is correct. You can see though that record and how we've done so far this season over on the BetStamp app. You can see all of our picks from the entire season. So make sure to check that out. You can find us in the Find Better section as Edgework HQ. See how we're doing this year. See how we're doing on a daily basis, week to week, whatever it is, however you want to break it down. Teams, totals, player props. You can find all of that information in the BetStamp app in the Find Better section as Edgework HQ and track all of our picks for this season. We do go through them throughout here on the show and then recap them at the very end of the show as well. All right, let's get into today's games. We've got a lot ahead of us here on the schedule tonight, so we're not going to skip any time. Moretto, will go right to you first with your picks. We're going to start with the first game on the schedule here, the Tampa Bay Lightning on the road at the Columbus Blue Jackets. We're currently looking at a plus 139 money line for the Blue Jackets, minus 154 available for the Lightning, a total of 6.5. You've seen that 6.5 juice to the over as of right now. Which side of this game, total, would you be leaning here?
Yeah, the over has taken some money, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. I'm on that as well. So the over here at minus 120. Yeah, it's a MGM. I think SIA has the same thing. All those kind of books, Caesars too. So I like that at minus 120. I'd go up to minus 125 with it, no problem. This is an interesting case where you have 2 goalies that have horrible priors, but have actually been decent this season. Great in Johansson's case this season so far. So like a little bit of pause, thinking maybe, we're putting a little bit too much stock into their past body of work, and maybe these are, new goalies and much better goalies that need to be valued a little bit higher this season. And maybe that is the case, but even if that is the case and I'm a little bit behind on them, I still think we're getting 2 teams that defensively have been a mess so far this season. They're both bottom 4, bottom 5 in the league in expected goals against per 60 minutes at 5-on-5. So these teams just give up a ton of chances. And at the end of the day, I'm happy to press my luck with an over here. And if it just so happens that Jonas Johansson and Elvis Merzlikins can ruin that with great performances, then so be it. But I will pay to see it.
All right, fair enough. So lock that in, first pick of the day. I mean, it takes 5 minutes into the show for us to give out a best bet. That's why you got to be here, turn on notifications, and be ready to go right off the start because you're giving out picks immediately. Russ, you're pretty involved in totals here, especially giving some of those out on the show. What are your thoughts on where we're at handing out this over 6.5 in this game?
Yeah, I lean the exact same way. Unfortunately, the number got a little bit out ahead of me, but I have this number closer to 7 in my projections. And just like Moretto said, both teams are low, bottom of the bin in expected goals. 30th for Tampa Bay and 27th for Columbus Blue Jackets. And Tampa Bay, just can't stop anything. 31st in the league in shots against. So, it's just getting peppered. Jonas Johansson has played fairly well according to how his defense has played. But, I agree. I think an over here is probably the only way I would play this.
All right. Now, moving on, next game here, Russ. I'm looking at the team right now in the Ottawa Senators. They're at home tonight, but they have had some controversy surrounding them. You could say, put it lightly, over the last few days, especially with the Dadonov repercussions being handed out, Michael Andlauer being pretty outspoken in the media, which was kind of a new, refreshing thing to see from NHL owners, kind of kicking back at the NHL themselves in regards to consequences being pushed towards them. And I think in some regards there, he actually does have a leg to stand on in why the hell this took so long for the NHL to hand this out. And it does fall into his plate and why he wasn't aware of it while he was in the purchasing process. But you're seeing some kickback there on the Sens. Now you see them here tonight against the LA Kings. Ottawa plus 100, best price available. But if you're looking around at a book like Pinnacle, you see them minus 108, favored to being the favorite here. You see a total of 7, and they're facing the LA Kings tonight, minus 102 for the Kings. Is there a side or a total that you'd be looking to jump on in this game?
Yeah, we played the Kings, I think, early this morning, minus 102. I think, all the way up to minus 115 or so. My numbers have a true price here on the Kings, about minus 118. So I'll take minus 102, minus 105 all day. It seems like Pinnacle is a little bit off market, but if you have access to Pinnacle, I think that's a gift right there. But there's plenty of 110s. I would play that as well. You spoke a little bit about the off ice stuff. I mean, that is a huge distraction. Obviously, fire their GM, forfeit a first round pick for one of the next 3 years. And like you said, it's probably warranted, honestly. But digging under the hood a little bit, some of the analytics in this game. The Kings are a team we've wanted to buy on pretty much all year. Played them a couple times. Obviously, you guys are no stranger to playing those guys on Tuesdays, and it's worked out really well for you. And they're playing great. They're playing good hockey. And actually, Talbot looks like he's a serviceable goalie. I think that he's kind of hit the job in the net, and they should probably go to Talbot more often than Copley from here on out. But 6 in expected goals for the Kings, 31st in expected goals for the Ottawa Senators. So honestly, the Ottawa is normally a high-flying over team, but they just haven't got there on offense this year. Both teams are fairly decent in defense. 7th in expected goals against for the Kings, and then actually 8th for the Senators. So the Senators are actually playing some good hockey, but they're without 2 of their best defensemen tonight. Thomas Chabot is out, and then I believe Artem Zub is questionable as well. So it might be starting two young guys on the defense in the defense pairing. And and then you got Korpisalo in net, who's 52nd in goals saved above expectation, just has not played very well all year. So that's who I've got expected in net. And I would take the Kings. I just think this is mispriced. I would take the Kings, all the way up to like minus 115 here. So full unit play on the Kings. I mean, even some, if you're going to get squirrely, I think the Kings could win the puck line too, like plus 220 or so. I think that's a great number. But we'll stick with the money line. Kings is the first play for me on the road.
All right, very much in support. Yeah, there you go. Okay, first play in. LA Kings money line here tonight, and that is widely available, rushing up to minus 115. You see minus 102, minus 106, 108, 110. Like this one is widely available for people to get involved in. 112's out there. Make sure to shop around, get the best price available. Use the BetStamp app to help you find that. Any pushback for you here, Moretto? Are you in agreement with that Lake Kings pick?
Yep, it would be definitely Kings would be the way I lean here. I think that I don't think we can quite value just how much Shabbat means to this team. This guy logs a ton of minutes. This guy's so important to them on the back end. Just not having him is such a huge loss. So, and yeah, I mean, the Kings are just a great team. I'm high on the Kings. I'm not that high on the Senators. I think this is a decent price, and I definitely would lean that way.
All right. I'm going to throw back to you on this next one, and I think you're just jumping out of your shoes to give out this next pick here. We're going to Boston, where the Bruins are taking on the Maple Leafs here tonight in Boston. You see currently best price available on both sides. You see minus 102 on Boston, minus 108 on Toronto. Both of those available at Pinnacle. You see the total of 6 as it stands right now. Right, which side of this game or total would you be looking to be betting on tonight?
Well, I mean, I think the chat would have 4 guesses, and it would take their 4th guess to guess which side I'm on here. I'm on the Leafs tonight at minus 110. I think that that is a good price, and I mean, up to like minus 115, I'm good with. This is again with the McAvoy suspension. That's a huge loss for them on the back end. So I can't believe I'm playing it, but I'm playing the Leafs tonight. This is a Leafs bet for me. This is one of the rare ones, and the fact that I'm showing value in on the Leafs should really say something here. So yeah, again, I'm not. There's a lot of people that seem to think Boston's start is fraudulent and that it's been because of an easy schedule and whatever. I don't think that is the case, but I do think that this is just a huge loss for them on the back end, and McAvoy, he does so much for them. And maybe I'm, factoring him a little bit too high, but yeah, I think that, and again, we don't know who's starting for the Leafs, but I do think Samsonov is better than, he's shown so far. So I do kind of hope that we do get a Samsonov game. I know Wall has been the better goalie this season so far, but I'm hoping they go back to Samsonov here after the Wall start on Tuesday night. So yeah, this is a Leafs play for me, and I guess it's a win-win because either I win some money or the Leafs lose. So can't complain, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. Another thing I would say here too is like looking at this Leafs team, and I know this is narrative driven, so this is not what you bet on, but when watching this Leafs team, they play up to these kind of games and these situations, and you're going to have McAvoy out here. You're going to be on the road. You're responding to what was a terrible game against the Kings the other day. Like, they were pretty pathetic in that one. Kind of going to look for a response game. There was a pick in this one that I was going to give out. It was sent here in the chat as well, so I'll bring it to light and kind of show people, and I'll give it out here. It's William Nylander over 3.5 shots on goal, minus 105. This guy's been the best player on the ice for the Leafs basically since Game 3 of the season. Matthews came out and scored back-to-back hat-tricks, and then he scored 1 goal in the last 7 games after that. And Nylander has been the best player, the most consistent player on the ice every single night that he stepped out. I think this is an opportunity. This is going to be another game for him to kind of step up and take over. At 3.5, I was playing the 3.5s on Nylander up to like minus 120. I know that it's against a better team here in Boston here tonight, but I still like this one at the minus 105s that are widely available. And then across Canby books there, you're seeing plus 105. So we'll track it. I'll track it at minus 105. I think that that's fair considering how available that one is, but there are plus 105s out there for people. So that's one that I think is definitely going to be a good bet for tonight in this Leafs game.
Yeah, I mean, the strength of this Bruins team is defense, right? Like that's why you think that, okay, well, I mean, this is why you back this team. This is why you don't believe the start is fraudulent. They don't have to generate a ton of offense because they're able to limit so much. But yeah, with McAvoy suspended and Grzelcyk out, like all of a sudden it becomes a lot weaker for them on the back end. And you're looking at guys that are being called up here, to fill their spots that, I mean, this is looking more like a Leafs blue line all of a sudden. So kind of really levels the playing field. I had to get one
Yeah.
jab in,
Yeah. Fair enough. And like Rich saying no McCabe either brings up Grizzly, but like no McCabe either. It's not like this drastically affects the Leafs' overall capabilities on defense. Like
McCabe
I know
doesn't
that
change the percentage here for me really at all, whereas
no,
Grizzly and McAvoy both do for the Bruins.
right.
Yeah.
And I'm in the same page on that one as well. So there you go. Those are a couple best bets here for this Leafs game. Now moving on, I'm gonna go back to you, Moretto, for another total here tonight. Well, I mean, aside from the Nashville Predators, but the Dallas Stars currently on the road here tonight against the Edmonton Oilers. Total currently sitting at 6.5, juiced to the over -115. Is there a side or a total that you want to get involved in here?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if I'm missing something. Like I thought this total would be even higher, and I thought it would just keep taking, more and more money because you've got. It's kind of like it took a little bit of money, but then it was kind of bet back down a little bit this morning, like while we've been on the show. So, anyways, I'm on the over here. I like it up to 6.5 -120 is fine with me. This is two of the best offenses in the NHL, plain and simple. They create a ton of chances. Both power plays are very good, but even at 5-on-5, we've got, the number 2 offense in the Stars and expected goals. Number 2 is the Oilers in expected goals per 60, and the Stars are number 3, but 3.26, 3.25, there's basically nothing between them. So just two great offenses. We're getting obviously the Wedgwood game tonight after Ottinger started last night. And I mean, no one can stop a beach ball right now for the Oilers. So going to have a good goaltending matchup and a good goaltending matchup for the over, and two very good offenses that this just screams over to me. So I'm excited to see how this finishes 2-1.
Yeah, exactly. Russ, any thoughts for you on the total in this game here?
Yeah, I had to check this one a couple times because I have my numbers up north of 7 here, and I was kind of questioning whether I had something off or something wrong. But like Moretto said, two of the best offenses in the league, and then very, very, very bad goaltending. Wedgwood it's a low sample size, but 61st in goals saved above expectation. And then on the other side, you got Campbell, who's 60th in goals saved above expectation. Or if they go to Skinner, he's 65th. So I probably will jump on this as well, especially now that it came back down to -115. This is kind of a strange game because traditionally, the Stars like to play defense. They're a little bit more of a slower team, but this year, 7th in expected goals for. The Stars team is just firing on all cylinders, and like Moretto said, the Oilers can't stop anything, and they're going to get their own goals. So I could easily see a 3-3 game here, and the over cashing fairly easily.
All right. Another best bet locked in here on the show this morning. I see a ton of people here watching right now, and we do not have as many likes as we do have viewers. So if you are watching, if this is your first time, if this is sometime you've come back here and been back on the show and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure to subscribe as well while you're here. Hit that like button on the stream. It does help support the show, continue to help us grow, bring more viewers, bring more people to the chat. So hit that like button and continue to support the show. I do appreciate it as well. Just briefly here, see a question from AS. Relatively new listener, love the show. Appreciate that. What's the origin of the Tuesday/Kings love? Well, basically, there's a man on the show named Matt Russell who comes on every Tuesday, and it just so happens that the LA Kings seem to show up every Tuesday, and also coincidentally or conveniently, the LA Kings numbers seem to come in line on the Tuesdays that Matt Russell is on the show as well. So basically every Tuesday there's a Kings pick.
I think he's got the number 1 in his power ratings.
Yeah. It's like when all the memes and stuff about like girls and the horoscopes and the moons lining up and everything. That's the same for Matt Russell and the Kings on Tuesdays is lining up on them, and then the numbers making sense. So that is what the origin of the Kings Tuesdays are there. Yes, good question, because I feel like for people who are new, they're coming in just going, what the hell are these guys talking about betting on the Kings on Tuesdays? We're sitting here on a Thursday giving out another Kings play. Yep. Now, Russ, I'll go to you here on another one, a team that you had backed last year, seemed to work out pretty well for you. We did a kind of an end of season recap on what went right and how you were going to play things going forward, and that was with the New Jersey Devils. The New Jersey here tonight is on the road taking on the Minnesota Wild. You're seeing a total of 6.5, juiced heavily to the over, -128 right now. New Jersey favored in this one, -108. If you're looking on Pinnacle, you see Minnesota -102. But if you're looking around, looking for some other prices, you see +100 on the Wilds. How is it that you're looking to bet on this game tonight?
Yeah, no, this is a fun handicap. Like you said, I wish I had the 50-1 that I had on the Devils last year this year, but that's significantly lower this year. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was it was a fun ride for a little while. But yeah, this was a fun handicap for me. Just looking at my numbers, I did play the Devils -108. I think, -110 all the way up to probably -120 is a fair play. My fair price on this is Devils -140. And these, if you've watched the show before, this is two teams that I'm complete opposite on. This Devils team I love to back, and this Wild team I pretty much love to fade. I think they are overpriced in the market, and actually their numbers are showing it, but it doesn't seem like Vegas has adjusted their numbers that much. But yeah, just digging into some of this, I think the biggest handicapping edge here should be the Devils power play against Minnesota Wild's penalty kill, which is the Devils are first in power play percentage, first in power play goals, and Minnesota takes the seventh most penalties in the league so far, 29th in penalty kill. So I think that's a massive advantage right there. And then just looking at the price, man, this game was Devils -155 back on October 29th. So we're talking, 5 days ago. This was priced at Devils -155. Now they were at home, and I know each team had, the Devils have lost Heischer, and Boldy looks like he's back for the Wild. So that's really the only thing I can think of that's changing this price. But all of those are in my projections. I do the lineups every day. I put in, I've got Heischer out, I've got Boldy in, and I still can't get to this price of -110. It seems like it should be a lot higher on the Devils here. So yeah, I think, honestly, this is a fun one for me. I love backing the Devils and love playing against the Wild. So it was a pretty easy click for me this morning at -108. So I think play it all the way up to -115. It actually looks like somebody in the market is opposing me because the line has gone down a little bit on the Devils, which is super surprising. I don't understand what you would be seeing on the Wild other than maybe, I don't know, some type of bounce back spot or some type of fluke in the numbers. But I just don't like this Wild team this year. And I'm happy to take -110, -108.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I think that the loss of Heischer is like,
yeah,
it's big because it really all of a sudden like mitigates the center depth that the Devils have, because you go from Jack Hughes all of a sudden, Hughes and Heischer in the top six to Hughes, McLeod, then Holla, then just Tierney or something. So like it's a blow, but the Wild are pretty much the last team that can take advantage of that because they have no center depth themselves. So I think just strictly like not even numbers, just looking at like matchup wise here, it is a good matchup for them to be without Heischer. So Devils definitely would be my lean as well. I'm definitely a lot lower on the Wild than market.
Yeah, no, I like that take a lot because, that completely makes sense. And that's probably why you're getting a little bit of pushback on this, a little bit of money on the Wild is that loss of Heischer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I see another comment here in the chat. Kevin Phillips saying, if you were new here, we bet on Nashville, Dallas, LA, and that's it. Well, let's go to one of those for the next game. But Moretto, I mean, you had to change the name to make sure people knew we are not Predators, but just backing the Predators. But I mean, in this game here tonight, Nashville on the road at Seattle, total of 5.5 right now. Are you looking to get behind the Predators here? Maybe would you go towards the total in this one?
Yeah, I don't even want to say it out loud, but I'd actually be closer to a Kraken play than a Predators play at this price. But that's not where I am here. I'm going to the total again, and I'm looking towards an under actually this time. So we will get the Saros game after not getting it against the Canucks on Tuesday. That's right. That's what they played. This isn't my favorite total of the night. I think the other ones I've given out are all a little bit stronger. So we could even maybe go like 0.75 units here, 3/4 of a unit on this one.
Okay.
But I do like this at plus money. Just a Kraken team that doesn't give up a ton and still struggles to, score goals. Their offense has been coming on a little bit stronger as of late, but again, you still can't rely on them to finish consistently. And I think that's the problem we're seeing with the Predators here, that, that lack of elite high-end talent, where they've been able to generate a good amount this year, but they're really they need a lot of chances to score goals. So, I think the matchup where we might see a lot of chances here, but we have two good goaltenders and two teams that struggle to finish their chances. So I think getting the plus money at under 5.5 is a good look.
All right. Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I've played tons of Seattle unders this year. And we said, I think it was one of the first shows of the year, I had mentioned that I thought their total should be in the 5.5 range and should get down to 5.5. And it looks like we're finally there. But at a plus money, under 5.5, I'd lean the same way for sure. They just can't score.
Okay. So there you go. Another best bet locked in here. That one for a 3/4 unit. So make sure to check that out. But we will go through all of these again at the end of the show. Now, I mean, Chad is just teeing me up here to go game to game to game. So money bringing up. We fade the wagon Canucks for some reason. Well, let's go to the Canucks game here next. Our final best bet of the night before we kind of recap and see if there's anything else that we're even close to here. The Vancouver Canucks, San Jose Sharks. Moretto, back to you for another total in this one. I'll give it away, but I'm not going to tell you which side you're on. Total currently sitting at 6. Which side of this game, Vancouver, San Jose, and the total sitting at 6, would you want to bet on tonight?
Yeah, so we go from the total I may be the least confident in that I've given out as the best bet to the one I'm maybe the most confident in that I like the most here. I really like the under 6, minus 105 in this game. This is just two teams that are generating absolutely nothing offensively. The Sharks are dead last in the NHL by a decent margin and expected goals per 60. The Canucks are third last. Neither team is really able to create much offense. And, the Canucks have been getting great goaltending. Sharks defensively, not the best, that's for sure. But I think maybe this is a good matchup for them, especially at home where, they're not facing a team that's going to be able to, create some sort of onslaught and take advantage of their defensive inefficiencies. So, just two teams that I don't think are going to be able to score goals and generate many opportunities, and getting, relatively cheap under 6 is a very nice look for me. I thought that this could maybe be even in the 5.5 range. So I like this at getting that full 6 and not even having to pay for it.
All right, there you go. Any thoughts for you, Russ, here in this Canucks San Jose game in the under 6?
Not really. Yeah, I have in my notes, both teams bottom of the barrel and expected goals for, just as Moretto hit on. So, yeah, the only way I would look is maybe an underplay. But, yeah, the San Jose team is so bad. It's just unbelievable. And, they're getting decent defense, but, yeah, they just can't score. So I think an under 6 is the way I would look. No pushback for me on that at all.
If they've scored 4 goals in their last 6 games, it's insane.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, there you go. Those are all the best bets that we have for today. But before we wrap this up, Russ, is there any other games that you're looking at right now? Maybe you're waiting for numbers to kind of get within range, whether it be a side or a total that you're kind of just waiting on, or news that you're waiting on to take action on. Is there any games left that we haven't discussed that you think, hey, maybe I want to get involved in this throughout the course of the day?
Yeah, there are a couple that I'm kind of have circled that I'm looking at. I think that the Islanders Caps game is fairly interesting. I certainly thought that the Islanders would be a little bit heavier favorite. According to my numbers, there's really no value in the play. So that's certainly one I'm kind of looking at just as as something I like. But numbers really don't support it. But the Caps have just been pretty bad this year, and getting to play against them at a price right around minus 120, I think, is a gift. They should probably be priced a lot higher than that, generally speaking. So I don't know, if you want to touch on that too much today. It seemed like, I think minus 130, minus 135 is probably a fair price on this game, all considered. So if that goes a little bit lower, that's something I'm certainly might play, even for a half a unit or less. And then I think the Hurricanes and Rangers game is certainly an interesting game as well. You see the Canes the Rangers are just a wagon. They're playing absolutely awesome, won 5 in a row. But it seems like the Hurricanes are coming on their own. The won the last 3 games that they've played. Anderson is actually playing decent now. So I'm not positive on which way I would lean, but this is something this is a game I'll certainly have on a side TV maybe. I think that the total may be a little bit low as well. It probably should be a 6 flat. So I'm not sure. I've got the 3 bets locked in. I added Dallas Edmonton over after Moretto's beautiful breakdown of that one. I think I agree with that one. So no, I've got the 3 bets on this in this wide big slate. So I think I'll probably stick with those as of right now. But yeah, just there's some great games tonight. We're gonna learn a lot about some of these teams.
Moretto, you did give out a bunch of bets here, but is there anything else that's out there for you tonight that you're kind of waiting on? Maybe you're going to jump on throughout the course of the day?
Yeah, I completely agree with over in Carolina and the Rangers. And maybe like I had overlooked it a bit, but I had kind of made a note that I would like to see, it seems like counterintuitive, obviously, but you figure Shesterkin will start, but you don't know for sure just because Quick had played well with his last 2 opportunities. Shesterkin did start the last 2 games. Again, I still think we get Shesty here. And if so, there's no rush for me to bet this over because, like, I'm curious if we do get Shesterkin and then the under takes even more money, like maybe we get an even better price. So that's something I'm just kind of waiting on to see here. Also, like slightly lean Rangers, but again, Carolina's been turning around a little bit. So they've been, they've been playing well. I'm very close to playing Florida. I do think that the time to kind of like Detroit's going to kind of bottom out at one point here. We're going to get them, some decent prices until they do. So Florida is another team I haven't fired on yet, but I am definitely looking at, even at the minus 115 they're at now is good, but I'm just not in a rush to see if that takes a little bit more money. And then there was, I mentioned that Seattle was another side that I was looking at. The Coyotes are another one too, but that's going to be goalie dependent in Montreal because if Jake Allen starts, I probably don't want any part of it. But if it is Montembeault or Primo, then I mean the Habs have been like unexpectedly because that's not a strong suit of theirs coming into this season, but they're number 1 in the NHL right now in save percentage at 5-on-5. So they are due for some serious regression there because all due respect to their goalies and. It's been good to see Montembeault playing well. Primo even had a good game in there. Allen's been great, but like this is not a fantastic goaltending trio, and I do think they're going to be in for a bit of regression. But the way Jake Allen's playing right now, I don't want to fade him, especially against an Arizona team that I still, even though I keep betting their unders in the last couple of times they burned me, I still don't think they're the highest powered offensive team, and especially here on a back-to-back with travel, just not necessarily the spot I would like to fade the Canadians with Jake Allen in net. But if it is Montembeault or if it is Primo, then I don't think it will be. But if it is, then I think I can get behind a Coyotes play at this price.
All right. There you go. A couple games to look for throughout the course of the day. Maybe some information that you're going to be waiting on. So hopefully people in the chat can take away from that. Now, I do have one final question here. We see the news out of Ottawa in regards to Michael Andlauer and how he took the punishment that was handed out and the fact that it took so long for the NHL to get it to him. You see the Sens team currently sitting in last in the Atlantic Division. They go and fire Pierre Dorian yesterday. Moretto, what is the path forward for the Senators for the rest of this season? What are reasonable expectations for this team moving on throughout the course of the year?
Don't hire Peter Chiarelli. I mean, that would be my first course of action, would be not to replace one bozo with another one. But yeah, I don't think that before the year, I'd said, I don't think this is a playoff team at all. And obviously like things have broken very, very poorly for them, with the defensive injuries and the Pinto suspension, who they hadn't even signed to begin with. But I don't know what the course forward is for them right now. They do still have a good young core and a good team. And like, I do think that it's still a fairly attractive GM job. So like, if I'm the owner, I would feel very much aggrieved by how this whole situation was handled and how things weren't necessarily disclosed to him. And he kind of like walked into a shitstorm unknowingly. But I'm taking my time to find the right GM candidate. I'm not rushing to hire someone like, within the next 2 weeks or so, although you want someone, at the helm. Like I'm not going to rush to make a decision and bring in the wrong guy again and set this team back, because you are in a position for the Sens where you have a good young core and like, again, the cap situation is not great, but it's not like something they can't somewhat navigate out of. So yeah, I'm just making sure I bring in the right guy. I don't want to say it's a lost season because it's so early right now, but like with the Shabbat injury and like, all due respect to Chychrun, he's going to get injured at one point. That guy can't play a full season. So, that's coming almost. And yeah, I would probably be looking in towards I think this is more of if you're a Sens fan, you just have to ride it out right now and probably hope for better next year.
Russ, any thoughts for you on where the Sens organization currently stands?
I mean, yeah, Moretto hit all the nails on the head pretty accurately. I think that some of these injuries on defense have certainly plagued them early on. But yeah, it's still very, very early in the season. They have some very young guys that could possibly turn some things around. Like you said, if they hire the right guy, they could certainly get the morale back. But yeah, honestly, I mean, I like this team coming into the year. I didn't think they were quite a playoff team, but I thought you could play some of their overs and get them at underdogs prices, fairly cheaply. Just like last year, it seems like they cashed a ton of tickets that were plus 200 or better. Honestly, we're not really seeing those prices in the market, so I think that probably will adjust going forward. So that's why I love this Kings play tonight. But yeah, I think, hire the right guys and then hopefully get some of these guys back on defense and, just hold, like you said, if you're a Sens fan, just hold on right now and just kind of weather the storm for lack of a better term.
All right. Well, let's recap the picks for today. We do have a bunch here on the list. So we'll go through all of them. Remember, a unit is tracked as $100. That is a full unit here. So I'll read through all of the picks that we have today, and you can find all of these in the BetStamp app in the Find Better section as Edgework HQ. So first and foremost, we're going to look at the Tampa Bay Lightning Columbus Blue Jackets game. We're looking at the over 6.5, minus 120 for a full unit there. Then we're going to go LA Kings money line, minus 102, full unit there. William Nylander over 3.5 shots on goal, minus 105, full unit. The Maple Leafs money line, minus 108, full unit on that one. Devils, minus 108 money line, full unit. The over 6.5, minus 115 in Dallas Edmonton game, full unit there. We're looking at the Predators Kraken under 5.5 plus 106. 3/4 unit, so $75 on that one. 3/4 unit there. And then finally, the Canucks and the San Jose Sharks under 6, minus 105, a full unit there. So quickly to run through those again for those. Lightning, Blue Jackets over 6.5, minus 120. Kings money line, minus 102. Nylander over 3.5 shots on goal, minus 105. Leafs money line, minus 108. Devils money line, minus 108. Stars, Oilers over 6.5, minus 115. Preds, Kraken under 5.5, plus 106. And then finally, the Canucks, Sharks under 6, minus 105. Those are all of our picks today. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. If you did, please hit that like button here, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that you get notified every single time that we go live, because just like today, 5 minutes into the show, we're giving out picks. You don't want to miss the start of these shows. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel. Alex, thank you so much for filling in for So Money here today. You can see him back here tomorrow morning. Russ, as always, thank you for coming out here on Thursday mornings. Do appreciate you taking the time to do so, giving out picks and information for those in the chat. Thank you guys for watching. As always, you can find us back here tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time for more picks and previews. Unfortunately, a smaller slate, but we will still give out best bets, maybe do a little bit of a look ahead to this upcoming weekend. So again, if you did enjoy the show, make sure to support us. Sign up through the link in the description. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Enjoy the games tonight. Good luck on your bets. And to everyone out there, let's have a day.